Okay, good morning. This is Millionaire Mindset Book Club. So yesterday we did not have audio with our video, so I will try to re-record that one uh, over the weekend, and hopefully this one has audio. We'll see. It looks like we have audio. I get the little dots down at the bottom. So, um, No Limits by John Maxwell. This is chapter 3, your energy capacity. Right. So it's actually in part 2. He talks about developing the capacities that you already possess, right? And those capacities are energy, emotional thinking, people, creative, production, and leadership, right? And so today is energy, your energy capacity, your ability to push on physically. Um, you ever get burnout? You ever just exhausted doing what you're doing? And this can be something that this could be something that comes on over time, right? And that it doesn't have to mean physically. Well, I mean, it is physically, but um, it's not. I did so much work right now today that I'm physically exhausted. And this can actually take place over time. You're in a position that you're not happy with, right? This will go along with all of these go together. Your emotional capacity as well. Um, but in order to increase your energy, right? In order to increase your energy, there's some things that you need to do, right? Um, Number one is to re-engage, right? It's difficult to gear up again when you're geared down, right? It's like stepping out. It's like he says, stepping out of the stands and putting on your old uniform, getting back into the game. Um, but sometimes that's what you need to do. Okay, you've backed off for a minute, you've slowed down or whatever. Now you got to say, okay, I'm in this, right? I'm in this. I'm going to do it. You re-engage in whatever it is that you're working on. Reinvest, right? Reinvest yourself emotionally, physically, financially, in whatever it is that you're doing. Reinvent, right? Yesterday's success won't bring success tomorrow, right? Sometimes we have to reinvent. Um, Another thing you can do is recreate, right? Recreate, right? Think about that. Recreation. You got to do something. You got to do something different to regenerate yourself, right? So recreate. But he says reinvent, um, and then replenish, right? You have to do a better job of replenishing yourself through exercise and better eating and recreation, right? A little bit of play, and rest, right? And what happens then is you develop this new surge of energy, right? He says he learned a lesson when in this story that he was talking about at church, that it's better to manage your energy than it is to manage your time. So why should you focus on energy instead of time? Why should you focus on energy instead of time? In the book, The Power of Full Engagement, they say energy, not time, is the fundamental currency of high performance, right? Think about it. You ever meet one of those people that they're just like high energy all the time, right? Think about how much, what do they get done? Hopefully they got some focus to go along with that, right? But they get a lot done, right? Um, again, the authors of Powerful Engagement say the ultimate measure of our lives is not how much time we spend on the planet, but how much energy we invest in the time that we have, right? The more we take responsibility for the energy that we bring to the world, the more empowered and productive we become, right? The more that we blame others or external circumstances, right? Traffic, weather, the economy, whatever. The more we blame others or external circumstances, the more negative and compromised our energy is going to be, right? So if we want to get more done, if we want to make a greater impact on the world, then we need to increase our energy capacity, right? We need to increase our energy capacity. Um, John Maxwell said that his teachers would tell his parents, John never stops talking and he walks around the room while I'm teaching class, right? Apparently, John Maxwell was full of energy as a child, right? So he says there are three R's, right? The three R's that are applied to energy, right? Over the years, he says he's noticed that people who reach their capacity, who reach their capacity, don't sit back and wait for things to happen to them, right? Yeah, we've all probably known those people, right? I'm gonna sit back and wait, right? They're not out there, they're not doing, right? Um, so he talks about focusing his energy. He says that he uses these three R's for prioritizing. Number one, the requirement. What is it that I have to do? Number two, the return. What he does well, and number three, the reward. Right, what he loves to do. Um, so doing what rewards you, right? What rewards you, what you love to do, almost always gives you energy, right? The same is true for doing what gives us a high return. Um, what's the return I get on investment, right? Gives you energy. Um, and he says for most people, fulfilling requirements is not a high energize. It's not an energizing thing. But unless if your uh, if the power, it says, if you have the power to align all three, if your requirements line up with your return and your reward, then that will always energize. You'll always be energized by your work, right? So now here's the kicker. He says, how can you do that? How can you make sure that what you do is what you love to do? That what you do well brings you a return on your investment, right? And he says, well, you could change jobs, right? We've all seen those people again, I've talked about this a couple times, that you just feel like they hate their job, right? Whether they're working in retail or customer service or whatever, you just feel like they hate their job. I want to say, quit, go do something else, right? You can change jobs. You could talk to your boss and see um, if your job requirements, if your job um, description can be changed, right, or adjusted. See if what's required of you can be adjusted. Um, and you can learn to distinguish between what has to be done for the organization and what only you could do, right? Remember, we increase we increase our value to the organization by what we do, right? People say, well, I'll work harder if I got paid more. Well, why don't you try working harder and you will get paid more, right? If you turn it around the other way, you're going to stay where you are, right? Um, also understand that there's stuff that can be done that doesn't have to be done by you, right? As an entrepreneur, sometimes we try to do everything ourselves, and that doesn't always work out so well, right? I mean, because we just don't have the time. We don't have the time. We don't have the energy to do everything ourselves. Um, so, some things that help maximize your energy, right? Help you maximize your energy. You need to ask yourself the question, when am I fully charged? Right? When am I fully charged? Typically, you're fully charged up when you're well rested. Um, so get sleep, get exercise. Um, when you're fully charged, you get more done. You have better interactions with people. Um, in order to have a full charge for your day, you should be doing something that benefits somebody else, right? You should be creating more positive than negative moments. You should be making choices that improve your mental and physical health, right? You think about that, your mental and physical health. Um, so ask those questions, right? What fully charges me? Here's some examples. Living in your gift zone, right? What are your gifts? Well, I was born to do this, right? That's your gift zone. Um, Investing in other people, investing in your family and friends, right? Adding value to other people. Look for ways, every day. Look for ways that you can add value to other people, to your team members, your clients, strangers, right? Helping other people maybe fills you with energy and validates you, right? So, what activities that you can do for other people strengthen your sense of purpose and energize you, right? Um, Take good care of yourself physically, take good care of yourself, exercise, eat right, drink water, right? Um, be a catalyst to growth, right? You're helping others, right? You're helping others to move forward. Um, and you're helping yourself, right? We're either growing, right? And we're either growing or we are going backwards. We're stagnant, right? You cannot afford to be stagnant. Life is too short. You should be growing all the time. Nelson Mandela said there's no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one that you are capable of living. Um, there's a poem. There's a poem by I think it's Marianne Williamson, I think is the name of the poem, or is the author. I keep it on my phone, maybe. Um, no, Marianne Williamson. Um, Look her up, right? Talks about it talks about how there's no value in playing small, how our greatest fear is not that we can't do something, is that we are going to be powerful beyond belief, right? Um, you were put on this earth to do great things, and you have the ability to do great things. The tools are there, right? You just have to apply them, right? And then the last question he had, or the last thing he has here that talks about interactions with, or fill you with energy, is possessing a God awareness, right? Um, he's talking about looking out at the ocean. He's got a plaque that says, "Oh God, thy sea is so great, and my boat is so small." Um, so um, don't tell don't tell God how big your problems are. Tell your problems how big your God is. Right? I've heard that before. So, what is it that energizes you? You also need to know what is it that wears you down. Some of the things that wear you down might lift others up, might create energy for others. So, seek out other people that can help you out. Right? Um, um, find places. Find places where you can increase your energy. Right? His energy capacity questions. Number one, what are the activities, the people, the tasks, the places that suck the energy out of you? Right? What are those places that suck the energy out of you? He says, sap your energy. What are the activities, people, places, tasks that give you greater energy? Right? What fires you up? And then think about in what areas of your life you are not maximizing your energy and the energy of the people around you. You know, um, you may not have noticed yet, but pretty much everything in this book, all of these questions are self-reflection questions, right? Every day, every day, you need to take some time to reflect on what's working, what's not working, right? What can I do better? How can I do it better? Right? We need to take that. We need to take that time, right, to help ourselves in our growth plan. So that's it for Thursday. That's it for this week, right? Millionaire Mindset Book Club will be back on Monday morning, right? Back on Monday morning. Hopefully the audio works well on this video, and if and I will re-record. I'll re-record yesterday's to get it up so that you don't miss it. So um, that's it. Millionaire Mindset Book Club. Get out there and make today and this weekend the best days that you have ever had so far. We'll see you on Monday.